So check this out, this is the entry to the changing room. So if you ask me, this is full of character. But if you also ask me, at the end of the day, it needs to be a little bit modernized, you know? Good morning. We are in Segovia. Have you ever seen anything similar to this? Do you even feel safe when you look at those stones, man? How they sit, holding each other in place. So the thing was built in the 1st century AD by the Romans, and apparently it also has a foundation, something like 6 meters deep. And what is absolutely fascinating about it is not only how old it is, but the fact that it has been used till 1973 as an aqueduct. Like, big up the Romans, man, the ancient ones. I'm not entirely sure about the more recent generations, but still, the reason we are here is not only to admire the flipping aqueduct, it is to document and support in many ways the protest of the Bukaneros. You see, under normal circumstances, this weekend would have been the second derby of Madrid, Rayo against Atletico. But then something completely unexpected happened. It started raining. Can you believe that? I mean, winter in Spain. It rains, right? The rain factor, combined with the fact that the owners of Rayo don't really pay attention to the ground. I mean, Martin Presa, the owner of Rayo, wants to take the team and go away from Vallecas, you know? How on earth did the Romans build this, man? And it lasted 2,000 plus years. And flipping Rayo cannot take care of their stadium. The mysteries of our times, right? First, it was the game against Real Oviedo that got cancelled because the very players of Rayo, the very team of Rayo protested. I mean, they said that they don't think it's safe or possible to play a decent game in this pitch. Rayo had just changed the grass, and in combination with the heavy rain, it became unplayable. Look at this. Ooh, that face is scary, I tell you. But yeah, we will have time to talk a little bit about the situation and about Rayo. We have been last year in the game against Getafe, and we talked a lot more about why the fans don't really like Martin Presa, the president and owner of Rayo. What are we all thinking about Segovia, mate? Well, it certainly has a flair, doesn't it? So the aqueduct would run about 17 kilometers up the mountain to bring the water that feeds these fountains and the homes of the city. So check this out, man. In this building used to live Maurice Fromkes, a North American painter who was in love with Segovia. To my shame, I do not know this name. Flipping, hey, look at this castle. This is the Alcázar. Do you remember when we were in Sevilla? We saw parts of the Alcázar just to prove a point about the coexistence of architectures of the Moors and the Christians. This is the Alcázar of Segovia, and there are a couple of humongous herons up there having a nest. I'm not gonna lie, man, the thing looks like Disneyland, doesn't it? Can you flip in here the clicking sound these birds are making? Anyway, so here's the thing about the Alcázar. It is, to my understanding, that it housed the treasury from which the very first trip of Columbus was funded, with all the consequences that followed. Since we are short on time, let's go back to the aqueduct, have a coffee, admiring the thing, and then move on to Madrid to see about the purpose, the very purpose of our visit. It's such a fascinating thing, man, how things are built on top of each other, you know, constructions from different eras. This aqueduct was one of the things in the bucket list concerning Spain, you know. That and a second visit to Prado. We will go to Prado one of these days. This is our view, man. And it has churros. Flipping hell, let's sit here. Fuck diets. So here's the thing, right? These are the absolute nothingness in terms of, health, I guess. However, they are tasty, you know? So here's us killing ourselves. Are you lot seeing this thing, man? I mean, it goes forever. And the most interesting part is the fact that it also has an underground segment. Look at this. We are reliving Sicily vibes. This is the stadium of Segovia. This team is called Gimnástica Segoviana. So look at this, they also have the aqueduct in their badge. I think they play in the third or fourth division. It's called Segunda Categoria, something like that. Anyway, what's interesting though is that they play with some very historic teams from the past. Teams like Numancia or Salamanca, you know? They also play in the same category. I tell you what, man, when you see this, it's very difficult to even imagine it in the scale and proportions that it presents itself down in the center of this city. All right, man, so here we go, off to Madrid. The Spanish have these wonderful high-speed trains that get you there in 25 minutes. Look at the thing, man. I tell you, it's fast. Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Welcome to Madrid. It's Sunday. It's game day. A couple of months ago, some friends from Athens invited me to come to Madrid so that we could watch all together the little derby of the city, Rayo Vallecano against Atletico. Our major problem in the last 2 or 3 months has been who on earth is going to stand on that line to get the flipping ticket for the game, man. Because you know the thing, right? You remember from our last videos. Rayo does not have an online selling system. But then, the most incredible thing happened, man. The weather got bad. It was last week, Rayo were playing against Oviedo, and the very players refused to play because of the conditions. So here we are on a beautiful sunny Sunday. The game, Rayo Vallecano against Atletico de Madrid, will take place in Leganés, of all places, instead of the very home of Rayo in the heart of Vallecas. Now, it is no secret that the fans of Rayo, the Bukaneros, absolutely detest Presa, the owner of the team, not only because he doesn't give a shit about the stadium, but for all these reasons that we have already mentioned in the previous video. I will not go deep in that, because that video is out there, but let's just say that wanting to move Rayo from Vallecas doesn't help his case. Neither does bringing Vox members in the stadium, and neither does hiring coaches that have publicly declared that they would love to violate, let's say it like this. All that together make the reputation of that owner, not the best, I guess, right? Now, all these developments have caused the ultras of Rayo, the Bukaneros, to call to arms. Today at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, we will go to Vallecas and protest against everything that's going bad with the club at the moment. I am a very big supporter of the cause. Rayo needs to stay in Vallecas. They need to preserve this incredible character that they have built through the years. And this is something very important, man.
No photos, please.
It's not a photo, it's video.
Video. No video.
Okay. So here's the thing, right? The Bukaneros have been very actively promoting this protest, and they say a couple of things in their announcements that I agree with all of them, but there are some contradictions. Let's discuss. So first of all, they do want their team to remain in Vallecas for all the normal reasons in the world. And they also ask to finally get an online ticketing system. And at the same time, with all that, they also want to avoid getting many tourists in the stadium, which is an interesting contradiction if you ask me, because the very moment you make the ticketing system online, I don't know how exactly they are going to avoid the whole tourist thing. Anyway, I do agree with the rest. I mean, the stadium needs to become somewhat more human-friendly, let's call it. As for the tickets, man, I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Waiting in that line has a certain romantic aspect, when the weather is like this. When it's raining and you have all that crowd that's waiting there for the ticket, I'm not entirely sure if these people see the romance in the whole thing. All right, so we are here. Things are happening in front. Hey, I just want to say I truly apologize for all this blurring shit. Most of you have social media, most of you follow football fan pages online, and most of you get as frustrated as me with the whole blurring of the face thing. Unfortunately, this is the day and age we feel safer on the digital world with the blur on the face. Despite the fact that we are not. Because the cameras that do matter don't blur anything. Anyway, it is what it is. I apologize. Please enjoy the rest of the video.
Defender nuestro barrio, defender nuestra casa, defender nuestro equipo. ¡Unida porque sí! como decíamos antes, hoy está atado tu Presa, sino que defiende la ubicación de su estadio por encima de cualquier cosa. Nuestro equipo, defendemos nuestra identidad, nuestros valores. ¡Este es nuestro estadio! ¡No nos moverá! ¡Este es nuestro estadio! ¡No nos moverá! El puto verdadero Rayo Vallecano. ¡Somos el Rayo! ¡Nosotros somos el Rayo! 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 Viene las calles del barrio.
Έχεις άλυμο. Άκρια καρδίας.
Salud!
Θα δω live πρώτη φορά ζωή μου vlogging από την Immortal.
Το ξέρεις ότι όποτε μιλάτε το βίντεο τα γράφει ό,τι λέτε. So look at this man. One of the things the Bukaneros demanded from that idiot Presa, is to fix the shop, to finally fix the shop. I mean, if you look at it, it looks like shit, doesn't it? I mean, this man, this is new. We haven't seen this phenomenal mural last time. Neither have we stretched ourselves to peek inside the stadium. Initially I planned to come here with these two. Then came these two, then came another 5. And now we are 10.
We need one more.
Rayo Mata Gigantes, the killers of giants. So yeah, that was it. We protested. Now what? No retiras tu entrada. This is actually the Bukaneros asking the other fans to not get their ticket for any other ground besides the temple. So check this out. This is the entry to the changing room. So if you ask me, this is full of character. But if you also ask me, at the end of the day, it needs to be a little bit modernized, you know? I guess. Go! Big up our Greek towel flag. Can you flip and see it? Now you can. Do you remember the coolest grandma of all times? the rock abuela. Big up Rayo. Let's all hope they maintain their identity for as long as possible. The score, by the way, is 2-0 for Rayo. That is the Prado Museum, and it's a nightmare, man. Do you remember last time we were in Madrid how I strongly advised everybody to come here? And I repeat, in my humble opinion, no one has ever managed to describe using images concepts like despair, horror, fear, you know, like Goya. So here's the thing, right? Yours truly, packed with enthusiasm, decided to come back to Prado for the second time after 2019. That was the first time I visited this place, taking advantage of the Champions League final between Liverpool and Tottenham. I tell you what, man, either I have changed or they have changed the way they treat their guests. I'm not sure I changed so much, to be honest, you know? It's a nightmare. Not only the security thing is not exactly airport level, but close. And on top of that, I'm not entirely sure what's happening with the time slots, man. I mean, either these people do not respect them, or if they do respect them, I don't know what the limit is. I mean, it's close to impossible to enjoy anything. Anyway, I don't know why we need to go through this to enjoy art, man. I mean, really now, it's I don't know what to say about this. In the video of Sassuolo, I was so happy to mention how Pavarotti managed to get opera out in the streets, you know? We need to bring art out of the flipping museums, man. Come on now. Museums are literally killing the experience of the viewer, of the art viewer. Fucking hell, man. So here I am sitting in front of the Goya painting, you know, the execution of the Spanish civilians from Napoleon's Mamelukes. And it's impossible not to remember that literally a day before this visit of mine here, a Belgian guy placed on eBay for sale a collection of photographs from an old Nazi Germany soldier. This soldier apparently has made photographs of the execution of about 200 Greek communists in 1944. I mean, that's on eBay, man. These photographs were being sold on eBay for some hours, you know. I understood that the auction has been cancelled. Thank God for that. Every once in a while, I find it extremely difficult to comprehend the times we live in. Goya's painting, right? Fortino Samano's photograph, smoking that cigar in front of the executioners. And now that collection of photographs, man, in auction on eBay. Fucking hell, man. Executions on auction. That's who we are now. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.